surrounding. See, each of us come from different backgrounds. In terms of education, in terms of family background, in terms of the backup support that you have. So what eventually happens is some of us may have great dreams, but then we also have responsibilities also. Some of us may have responsibilities, some of us may have other liabilities to do. That doesn't mean you sacrifice your dream. So then you plan on saying that, okay, let me clear up these liabilities, or let me clear up some of these responsibilities. Because entrepreneurship, doing a startup is a very high risk business and a very high return no doubt, but high risk business. So some of you might say, okay, let me work for 3 years, 5 years, and then I will start on my own. That is a good way to do it. But at the same time, there are a lot of people whom I have met who will say, I have given a target, I have planned my life very well, I will work till the age of 40, and after 40 I am not going to do it. These type of things also will not work. If you are very passionate, you will jump into the water and start swimming. See, the life doesn't come with inflection points at 30, 25, 40, so you stop. Because at the age of 40, you will realize that you have kids, you have to go to school, and many more things are there, you have parents to look after. So you cannot plan life and all these equations, you will not know how many equations are involved. So never say that, okay, I will work for 20 years, I will have enough time balance, and then I will take risk. That also doesn't work. Because if you are destined to make money, you will make the money in the first shot. Or no matter how many years or whatever you do, you will not be able to do that. So the decision to be an entrepreneur, one is it comes from drive within, and the most important thing is the passion and the enjoyment that you get, the happiness that you get. See, ultimately, why do we all work? Why do we all study? You are studying so that you get a good job. You get a good job means you get a good high-paying job, or decently paying job, you get a house, family. Ultimately, net result is you want to be happy in whatever you are doing. Right? That's the ultimate objective. So to achieve that, there are various routes to do that. Some of us are very happy even with a very simple life. Some, no matter how much you give, they will not get. So it's a state of mind. So entrepreneurship requires that you understand yourself first. Not just because your next room neighbor, classmate of yours has started a startup, he had a great idea, and you in college had a better CGPA than him. So you think, and if he has got funding and all that, therefore you must also get into that. See, that thing should not happen. So the bottom line here is, you must define what is success as per your standard. It means you must define your scale of success. What you define as success for yourself, not for somebody else. For somebody else, you becoming the head of the department, you become a director, you becoming a managing director might be a success. But that need not necessarily give you happiness. Okay, so first is, please understand, define your scale and define what is success. Sometimes what happens, just to please the world, you might get a fancy 7-figure salary with a large investment bank, and then you are flying all over the world, and then you have all the 7-star booked, and you just land and you are picked up and everything great. Looks hard. What? Yeah, he was my batchmate today. He's flying all over the world in 5-star and all. But poor fellow, he may not be able to buy one sandwich because he's all engrossed in his Excel sheet. After the Excel sheet, he has to go for the next presentation. He doesn't even, and he stays in a 5-star hotel. He doesn't even know where the gym is, where the swimming pool is. He just doesn't have time because meeting to meeting, he goes taxi to taxi, and then he goes to the airport, groggy, picks up a flight, sleeps. And even in the flight, he can't watch the movies that are being shown in the flight. He lands in at an odd time in a new city. He has another set of meetings, and all the media hype that he gets. End of the day, you ask him how happy he is, he would actually be so frustrated. But for us, we look at it, see what a great life he is doing. We keep him as the benchmark. So, first is entrepreneurship. I have told you what are the traits that you must have. You must feel that you have those. But that doesn't mean that some of these traits you are able to identify now, maybe you may not have. I will also walk you through my journey, because that actually to an extent tells you how, because when I was your age in the college study, I never ever thought that I would become an entrepreneur. My thing was, okay, engineering, you finish off, you want to be a good designer in the area of mechanical engineering, design some formulas, you want to do something, and you are very engrossed in a very, very technical area. You are not interested in anything else. You move along journey, you meet people, your circumstances will change, the organizational demands will change. You may not get the organization that you want to work and vice versa. You need to perform well in the place that you have got. So then you start saying, okay, now that having got, why don't I do this job well? Then you try to do that well. Then you slowly start deviating and then you realize, I think that was not the only thing in life. Pressure vessel design or stress and strain and Young's model, that's not the only thing in life. There are many other things I think we are missing it out. So you learn that. So it again is whatever attitude you have to look at things. Every calamity, how you look at it as an opportunity. Have I learned something? Oh, good. Maybe I have been put in this situation because it happened. So don't think about it. Pick up, understand, learn. Maybe it's of use to you 20 years down the line. Today I see some of those anecdotes I can relate to you and tell you today. But those days I would have thought, oh, it's a bad experience, okay. But it's not really a bad experience. That was one of those exams that I passed out and cleared off or whatever. And I moved on. So, to cover up on the entrepreneurial bit, ensure that when you want to start up or want to enter the journey as an entrepreneur, you have enough family support. Because you need, see, whatever, money comes, there are people in the market or there are people, investors who want to be willing to put money. But the most important thing is, what does the family expect out of you? Family may say, fine, no problem, work for, be an entrepreneur 2-3 years, it's okay, fine. But the amount of moral support that they give you, because every day you will not be able to show a success. Every day you will not get a client who gives you a business. So are they going to ask you, so what happened today? What are your plans? Now if you are going to be asked every day, or if the family expects that you are able to give good news on a monthly, quarterly basis, saying that, I've been able to make my ends meet and so on. Then what happens is, on one end, there will be a nagging doubt in your head. Am I doing the right thing? Am I doing something? Is it that all the people are asking me questions? Am I on the right track? So it's very, very important that you have full support of the family. What I mean to support, it could be financial, or even if it's not financial, they must give you moral support. So it's okay. There's nothing wrong in failing. You can always make a beginning. You lose 1 year of your career, restart a new business. You learn a lot of things. And please understand, my mistakes, my learnings cannot be your mistakes in your learnings. It may be good for me to talk today, explain to you what are the various pitfalls that I have undergone. But each one of you will have to undergo this journey yourself. Because that is when you really learn, and that is where you get to understand the ability to judge. We call it as, a lot of people when you interview, you say gut feeling. How do you understand the word gut feeling? How has it come? It is not a sudden set of feeling which has come from the gut. What happens is, our brain is a very high-end processor. It takes a lot of inputs, visual cues. So the way people look at, people respond when I'm talking. So my eyes are actually scanning hundreds of you sitting here, and the feedback that I get, it gets processed real time. And then the minute you realize that people are listening, not listening, whatever it is, you get to monitor, you get to alter your path. So what happens is, as an entrepreneur, you must be in the field. You must try to meet as many customers. You must try to meet up, so that what happens is, your learnings actually reinforces some of your beliefs, which ultimately gets translated as gut feel, by which okay, looking at a situation, you will be able to predict. You will not be able to quantify that, saying that this, I saw this body language in him, therefore I cannot trust him. You will not be able to do a cause-effect relationship. But your mind is so fast that it will know that these type of instances have happened to you in the past. Therefore, it will give you a probabilistic insight, saying that these are things you should be careful. So when I said these are things, what happens is, when you start a business, you will find, you will meet people who will promise you, saying that you start the business, no problem, we'll give you orders. You start the business. Then when you go to them, they will say, market has slightly changed. We would have given you orders, but let's do a thing. We will do it in the next quarter when the market picks up. We will try to give you business. Or in the meantime, can you do this? Your whole business you might have thought about, assuming that so-and-so client will give you business. It might not happen. You cannot blame him, because he wanted to motivate you. He wanted to give you an insight, saying that this looks like a doable idea. But until the time he actually cuts the check and gives you the payment for the business, you cannot be sure that the business is on. and then that will impact you. Then next, when you go to somebody else, then you will start saying, okay, if this is the way I have projected my business, first year, second year, this is why I have projected the number of people, number of team, you immediately start scaling up or scaling down, saying that this is how I have to bring it. So entrepreneurship requires one is self-drive, initiative, and you must have the ability to do something very creative. So that's as far as entrepreneurship is concerned. Now, why I wanted to detach startup and not connect it, and also flip the topic is, see, entrepreneurship is a choice that you make at any point of time in your career. So you can be an entrepreneur, you can be a businessman, you can take a full-time job. So these are among the various options. Entrepreneurship is one such option. Startup is a phase. See, just as a child is one phase in your life. You are a child, you become a grown-up boy, you become an adult, and so on. Any organization for that matter has to start. That is why it's called a startup. So when it gets started with 1%, 2%, or few people, it's a startup. Okay, now I will bring the connection between startup and entrepreneurship a little bit down the top. So any organization, whether it is a HP or a Microsoft, they were all startups at some point of time, started by a bunch of people or a single person. So that's very clear. Now, the question for you, some of you will be, so that is the phase of the organization's growth. Some of you might get an option to take a full-time job in a startup. See, doing a startup is different from taking a job in a startup. Are you with me on that? So when you take a job in a startup, you are not an entrepreneur. You are taking a job like taking a job in any company. Only thing is the company is not 100 years old, it is not a very mature company, it is a company which is just about to grow and you are taking a job in a startup. So you can still be in a startup but not be an entrepreneur. So you understand that exclusivity, inclusivity principles. Okay? So in a startup what happens? Why people should take a job in a startup? Why people should not take a job in a startup? A startup is a very high risk venture. When I say very high risk venture, there are a set of entrepreneurs who have thought of an idea, they are wanting to start a business.